Hi, I'm Summer May Finlay. I'm a Yorta Yorta woman, which is an Australian Indigenous woman. My country is down on the Victoria and New South Wales border, but I'm also the co-chair of IndigenousNCDs. And thank you for letting us present today. I have to say, I am so disappointed that I cannot be there in person. But I'm really grateful that you're allowing me to present via video. Now, before we go any further, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands I'm on today, and also the lands you're on today, and pay my respects to elders past and present. That's a really traditional way here in Australia of how we recognise when we're not on our own country, and the respect that we're giving to the people that are allowing us to speak on this country. So thank you. So I want to talk to you about Indigenous voice. Indigenous people make up about 370 million people globally. We also know that we're more likely to be affected by NCDs, mental health included. It is really important that Indigenous people globally are part of the conversation around how to address and tackle NCDs. We have unique histories. We have been colonised, dispossessed of our land, attempts to actually destroy our culture. We then also have very unique cultures. So what we actually need is very different often from what mainstream populations need within our own countries. For example, tobacco. We have seen a significant reduction in the rate of tobacco in Australia amongst mainstream populations. You know, anywhere between 15, 17 and 19%, depending on the state you're in. We still have stubbornly high rates of smoking here in Australia amongst Indigenous people, and the current statistics around 43%. This is despite a concerted mainstream effort to reduce the smoking. What this actually tells me is that mainstream messaging does not work. We need specific targeted solutions. We need to understand the different cultural values that Indigenous peoples bring that might be of use when we're actually trying to talk about NCDs. We also need to understand the histories and the motivation, because if we don't actually do that, we're not going to actually see a significant reduction, which means we're not going to make a big significant difference when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals. So I ask you to think about, when you go back to your own countries or when you're working globally, are you actually engaging with Indigenous peoples? Are you giving Indigenous peoples the platform to have a voice, to share their concerns and their desires? If you're not doing that, we're not actually going to tackle Indigenous NCDs. We need you to create a space that allows us to engage. We need you to fund us to go to platforms like this to speak. It is really important, because while we are not at the table, we're going to see the high rates continue, and what it means is that my communities will die. I really hope that we can actually see more engagement at the global level with Indigenous people, because we genuinely need to reduce the rates. Thank you.